Libra, sun, moon, rising sign, all of you are having an interestingly positive month of October 2025's horoscope as you're having multiple career opportunities emerge that look very good on you. Your charm offensive is going to increase. You're likable and you're very appealing to the opposite sex as well as to anyone else you need to work your magic on as Venus supports you in Libra during part of this month. One thing I love about this month as well is a sextile between Venus and Jupiter. And this is going to really bring you into a very positive alignment in the work environment. Let's get talking about what this month looks like for you. There's so much more than what I said. The most important thing about this month ahead is it's not September. September was a hard month. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Lori Lothian. I'm using Western Tropical Zodiac astrology. Fixed stars, minor asteroids are a big part of what I do here. Only for a Libra am I adjusting my apparel. And I do teach astrology, and my Sky Reader 6-year teaching is Be Your Own Astrologer, Time Your Best Life. We start September 27th, 6 weeks live with me, weekly Q&A calls, guest teachers talking about relocation astrology, Sabian symbols, grand aspect patterns in the chart, and more. Check my description box below the video for a link to enroll if you get this video before the end of this month. As well, my dearest friend, Gary Kate, that's another good friend, and my dear friend, Renn Butler, an amazing astrologer, is teaching his archetypal astrology course beginning in October, running for 6 months. And it's an incredibly good course. I love it. I took it myself back in 2020. And if you want to sign up for his course and read what it's about, and it's very powerful content, really helped me understand my interface with the sky and my soul and my dreams at night. Check out the link below and say Lori sent you, because if you connect to him via me, he's giving you the discount rate, significant discount rate from the early bird pricing that's no longer in effect. So go check it out. And let's get talking, Libra, about your sign. Holy man. Well, first of all, Venus is the lord of your sign, and she's doing some serious magic on your behalf this month, meaning things are going your way. Things are looking good for you. You are on the upswing. Okay, so let's take a look at the chart, and I'll show you what I mean. So here we have the beginning of the month, and I'll move us actually into the right day. Here we go. And as we just notice a few things, because we've got 25-30 minutes together, no rush, right? That as the month begins, Venus is in Virgo, and this is a sign of her fall. And for you, it's about letting go of patterns, past life patterns, karmic vows of chastity or poverty, things that you've done that are your own self-undoing, the weed, the addictions, the cigarettes, if you have them, you can really let go of them as well. But it's just really a time of introspection and looking at your creative impulse from time alone, and understanding that you can break the chains of patterns from your ancestors, your family of origin, and your childhood, and your past lives that are binding you in ways that really don't serve you, because Venus is the lord of your sign. And when she's trying to make a change in your chart, she's doing it for your highest and best good. So there's that. But Venus in Virgo, September 19th, by the way, through to October 12th, will be coming into that sextile to Jupiter. And that's what's so amazing. So we'll get to that as we go through this week, month ahead, week by week. If you're listening for your rising sign, it's your avatar game simulation character. Sun, it's your soul, but it's also your career and purpose matters, why you're on the planet as a body, mind complex. And your moon can be how you feel about life, your ruminations, your mental, emotional state. And your moon can also be about your home and where you live. So we pretend that the moon or the sun are in the Libra first house in order to delineate, using derived houses, meanings for you. But certainly rising sign is very accurate as well, mostly accurate for most people, most of the time. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about Mercury in the beginning of the month. As we begin the month on October 1st, 2nd, Mercury squares Jupiter in your career house. A square from Jupiter applying to Mercury in a sign of exaltation is positive. It means that you're going to have to make a decision or take an action. However, Mercury can be your mind. It could be an idea. It could be a negotiation or a conversation connected to career, bosses, higher ups. This can also give you a nice spotlight where you're really hitting the mark. You're leading the way. You're in charge of things. People are looking up to your success in your career, and you're speaking about it, talking about it, or negotiating more success because of the success you're already having. All said and done, this is a really positive vibe for you, and you're going to love the feeling of the first 2 to 3 days of the month. Now, that said, I mean, because it's not always just perfectly wonderbar every time something happens with Mercury and Jupiter, because Mercury rules your ninth house of foreign lands and distant shores, or maybe something connected to travel, long distance, foreign lands, foreign countries, and this career boost is coming together as well. So there's multiple themes intertwining here for you, Libra, especially if you work for a company that's in a foreign country from the one that you're born in, or an international company. Those are where some of the real action is happening in the first 2 days of the month. On October the 6th, we have a beautiful full moon at 14 degrees of the sign of Aries. And that is going to indicate a fulfillment in the house of long-term business, love, and marriage partnerships, business partnerships, marriage partnerships, how you connect with the audience in the marketplace. A full moon can bring you more publicity, more public exposure. If you work with clients, it could be really fulfilling at this time and feel like a bright light. On the other hand, the spotlight is on your marriage partner. The moon is shining there. Go back to the 23rd, your long-term love partner. Go back to the 29th of March. Try to remember what you were doing then. That was the last time when we had the new moon that a focal point happened here in relationship to relationship. It is a completing archetype. The full moon is harvesting something. Now, it could be a time of harvesting the rewards of a relationship, or sometimes a completion in an existing business or love relationship. Every time that happens every year, that's a possibility. It's not always a probability, just so you know. And at the same time, the way that this is lining up, let's move us to the 6th over here. You're healing a chironic wound about long-term love and commitment, connected to, wishing you could find the true partner, moving beyond your rose-colored glasses, being more realistic about who you're actually with. And that could be just a way you're eyeballing the story, for sure. This is mostly true for Libra rising. For a Libra sun, this is very career-oriented and could indicate a career opportunity connected to a client or somebody in your audience or one of your customers, opening up a new financial opportunity for you because of this full moon. But it does go back to seeds planted March 29th, add 2 weeks. Full moons as well can take up to 6 months to complete themselves. Okay. Mars is the exaltation lord and the ruler of this eclipse. This could lead you to a very beautiful and lovely new home over the course of the next 6 months. That's another way that could show up as well. Now, October the 7th, 8th. Now we're going into our second week of the month. October 7th and the 8th, Mercury squares Pluto. Mercury is moving into Scorpio, and this is a whole new energy. Mercury in Scorpio, October 6th to the 29th, basically most of the month, is indicating you're going to be very busy marketing and communicating, maybe selling and merchandising possessions, selling off possessions, getting rid of possessions. With Mars, it could be selling a home, selling a property, because he exalts your 4th house. But you're really busy in negotiating mindset, and Mercury is very much speaking. You might be doing a lot of talking, a lot of communicating during that window of time as you are executing something that Mars would like you to do. Now, Mars is very ambitious and aggressive here, and this could be a wonderful time for you to really pursue increased earnings and really work hard to succeed in your career, especially with the trine to Jupiter from Mars. This is an ideal time for dental work or facial surgeries if you need them. Okay. And you're some protection from Lord Jupiter in that regard. Suddenly, it's very windy in my house. Oh my God, do I go up? And I'll just get through. I hope you don't hear like there's paper blowing in the wind in my kitchen. One more thing I wanted to say about Mercury. Mercury, as he enters into Scorpio, squares Pluto. And that's like usually an uncovering of information connected to romantic love, connected to your sexuality, connected to your entrepreneurial business endeavors, maybe a disclosure to you from one of your children, if you have children. There's some kind of information that's being spoken of, that's being uncovered, that's being disclosed to you. And it may be a little bit challenging to receive that news or information. That's for sure. That's a square, right? So just pay attention to 7th, 8th of maybe the 9th of October for a little turbulent information disclosure, maybe from something that was hidden from view up until this time. On October the 8th and the 9th, right? October 8th and the 9th and 10th even, we're going to watch Venus and how she loves up Jupiter. So you're going to start to feel it. Actually, I'm going to take it back a bit and say you're even getting a good dose of it on the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, right? Wow. There is this kind of exquisite flow on something to do with your career, really, because this is where the seed was planted. There was a seed planting between Jupiter and Venus here in August to accelerate career success for you over the course of a next year. And this is an opening gambit of yay you. Good success openings, uplifts coming from distant for people in foreign shores and distant lands, or you being in a foreign shore or distant land from your birthplace, connections to digital income and borderless revenue from online sales or online work, connections to some increase of career success connected to you going inward and working on your own soul and getting rid of your addictions and bad habits that undo you so that you can be more successful. But it's a sweet spot. And it could really open up quite a lovely vibe for you regarding your career, and also maybe a diminishment of expenses. If you felt like you were spending more money than you were making, South Node Venus is kind of tempering down on that, and it allows for a greater flushy, lushy feeling of abundance and success in your career at the very same time. So October the 11th, then Venus crosses the sign boundary. You know, we saw Mercury move into Scorpio. Right now, we're going to watch Venus cross over as well. So here she heads into Libra. And just before she does, I almost keep forgetting to cover this. Just before she crosses the sign boundary, she has to go into an opposition to Lord Saturn. Now, this energy here is pretty exact on October 11th. It can feel like a real tug of war between health challenges and addictions. It can look like a struggle to rectify or fix something that's not working for you in your work environment. There might be a challenge with the health of a pet. There might be some difficulty with an employer or employee situation that is feeling constricted. And you might feel a little blindsided by someone you would call, in hindsight, a hidden enemy connected to your work environment who really, it doesn't have your back, and you're having to deal with that. That said, Saturn is about endurance and resilience, and Venus is like, you might really want to work on something to do with your health, and particularly with dietary habits. And that's because Mars cutting through Scorpio will help you clean up your dietary habits and change your health outcome because of what you ingest. That started September 22nd and is true through to November 3rd. So clean up your habits on your dietary style. That's a definite code here for you guys. You know, Mars is a big spender here, and, you know, maybe you have been feeling you're spending too much money, and this could be a reckoning, a moment of reckoning about how much money is outgoing versus ingoing. And there's another angle on that for you as well. And then Venus crosses over and she's like, oh, I'm in my home kingdom. Praise the Lord. I'm happy here. This is your yearly glow up, Libra. Sun, it glows your career, moon, your home life, and your feeling states, and Libra rising, everything about you feels glowy, especially how you look. I always encourage this transit for people thinking of changing their hair, changing their makeup, buying a new wardrobe. That kind of vibe is good for you when Venus is here. And she's in Libra from this transit, October 13th, 14th. It's kind of time zone dependent through to November the 6th. And so good time to beautify yourself. And it's a really good energy for you being effectively charming. People love to be around you. You've got a glow. You're captivating. You're Mr. and Miss Congeniality. And you're very persuasive. And it allows you to get what you want. Now, you're very attractive to the opposite sex, or your own sex, I should have said. I think I did a blunder in my political correctness in the beginning. But to those who would be attracted to you, I am a late boomer, you are going to look glowy. You're going to look very attractive. Okay. And Venus transiting the first house is always an opportunity for new love stories to come into your life. It always works that way. As she enters in, she opposes Neptune in the seventh house, meaning that there could be a kind of crisscrossing energy with regards to a soulmate, a twin flame, coming into contact with someone you feel a spiritual connection to from your past lives or this life, I don't know. And there's this like energy of synergy and excitement, but also conflict. Maybe you're daunted by the opportunity. You're scared by it. At the same time, she's like trining Pluto in the house of sexuality and romance. So single Libras, this is an opportunity to step into a transformative soulmate love story that can be quite beautiful, because don't forget, Neptune with Saturn is about what's realistic and divine at the same time. So there's something going on where you're looking like you might be falling for some new person early in this transit, or they're falling for you. So October 14th to about the 16th, I'd say, watch for that story. In an existing love relationship, you're charming and you're working with it to try to heal any problems in that existing love story that already exists. This is really good for those of you who are on videography platforms like Instagram Reels, TikTok, YouTube, because this is very nice for a kind of a little celebrity status, a little glow up in how you appear here, and maybe a little bit of wealth that comes off of that glow up as well, maybe good ad revenue or something. Now, we're moving into October 16th, 17th, around that time. This is another career opportunity, glow up moment, as the sun will come into a square to Jupiter. Jupiter is so strong up here and he's applying to the sun. So you're going to have a spotlight on career opportunity absolutely coming through the sky at this time. This is going to be the 14th, maybe, but it's more active on the 16th. So watch the sky, 21, 23. So you can feel it on the 14th, really exact-ish on the 17th, waning by the 19th. So Venus is giving you luck. This is career. This is also the career planet as a general principle here. This career planet rules your house of promotions, raises, more profitability, increase of gains in your career, financial flushness, feeling like you want a windfall through the career path itself. So this is such a nice glow for you Libras who often have a hard time with the work-life balance, right? And so this is where you're getting a payoff for all of your hard work. October the 19th, but you'll feel it 3 days before and 3 days after. Mercury will bump into Mars in the money, spending, earnings, possessions house. Great time to sell a possession you no longer need. Sell the car, sell the home, sell the thing that you don't want anymore. It's a good time for that. And at the same time, this is where you can be really clear about cutting out a bad habit, a dietary pattern, especially in addiction, as Mercury rules your addictions house. And this is a defining turning point time frame for you in that regard, or a massive change of health style by dietary shifts that are quite profound. Now, with Saturn in your house of sickness and Mars here, there's definitely an improvement in your health, but it's going to be because of what you ingest, not because of a miracle. So changing what you eat is going to change how you are. Saturn can indicate problems with the body, spine, the back, the feet, and Mars is about accidents, but this is soothing. So healing of an injury, an old injury may be on the mend at this time as well, especially if it involves feet and ligaments and bony structures in the body. This is an ideal transit for having your teeth repaired if there's any problem with your teeth as well. When is this ideal teeth repair transit? Say the 19th of October, 3 days before and after. Harsh conversations that are necessary will occur, most likely connected to conversations with your business partner or a client or your marriage type partner. And those harsh conversations are necessary, but also effective at this time. Now, we want to move to October the 21st to the end of the month. But before we get there, we have a lunation on the 21st. It's a new moon in your sign. It's your yearly fresh start at 28 Libra. If your sun or moon or rising sign is close to 28 Libra, let's say 3 degrees on either side, well, if it's between 25 and 29 degrees, your sun, moon, or Libra rising, then you're going to really be benefiting from a fresh start and a new beginning. And I can't emphasize how beautiful this is because Venus is in dignity and she's accompanying the rebirth of this fresh start new moon. And over the course of the next 2 weeks afterwards, October 21st, add 2 weeks, you feel like you're hitting a reset button in some area of your life. And it feels easy, lucky, and blessed. There's no reason why it couldn't be a new career job opportunity with Jupiter in the 10th house. It could be a reboot in sexuality and romantic love. It could be a reboot in long-term love stories, and it could reset and reboot you in many other ways as well. But also one thing about this energy is it takes up to 6 months to fulfill itself. So don't look for all of the answers to show up immediately. So it's right here. And it's healing a chironic wound and about your commitments in love and partnership to business and the wounds of relationship itself that you've been dealing with since 2019 and trying to restore faith, Jupiter, in love, in partnership, and in your capacity to be successful. Jupiter is in the wedding house. Some of you may be moving in the 6 months that follow towards wedding bells and marriage and what do you call it? Bend a knee. What do you call that? Proposals regarding being proposed to or proposing to someone else, a marriage or wedding. That kind of thing, getting engaged. That's possible, especially if you're already in a relationship. On October the 24th and 25th, the sun will square Pluto. Now, this is in the context of the sun moving out of Libra, where you've been focused on yourself and maybe feeling a little bit overwhelmed when the sun is in your sign every year. It's like you're being under the Klieg light or the spotlight. You're burning up in the sun. It can feel intense. But one thing I like about this, and I really do like it, is that you now are going to look at this powerhouse of earnings and money and resources, where the sun is in your earnings house with a dignified Mars, Mercury, transactional stuff, negotiations, marketing, selling, speaking and earning. And the moon is here as well. Even though she's in a condition of fall, don't worry so much about that. And all of this wants to up level you in terms of intensity around the Jupiter expansion of your money. Only one thing to worry about is that the moon here, just in the very short term, because the moon is moving quickly around maybe October 23rd, I'd say October 22nd, 23rd, 24th, you might feel burned out. Okay. Your work might be burning you out at that time, right? You might be chasing the money and feel exhausted the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. Keep that in mind. But anyway, here comes the sun, and the sun entering into Scorpio, where the sun will be for 1 month. And as the sun does this, the sun is squaring Pluto. So Pluto is transformation, and this is in the house of sexuality and romantic love. And this is also in the axis of finances. And this is also about your children. So children and money, lover and money, conversations about sexuality and a love partner. Mars is there. It definitely can connect you to profound transformation through important conversations about love, sex, romance, and commitment with some significant person in your life. If you're single, of course, then it's not going to be as intense. It just could be a turning point moment connected to love and focus on important conversations in romantic context. If you're an entrepreneur, a creative artist, this is a nice time for making more money and becoming richer through your art and your creativity. You might have a power struggle, however, here, always possible when the sun is squaring Pluto with somebody in a collegiate work setting or with a friend who's considered an ally, and a power struggle ongoing here around October 23rd and 24th. Mercury is trining a bunch of people. This is a beautiful, flowing, lucky, oh my God. Like, it's just windy as heck. Like, hang on a sec, guys. Okay, I'll just finish you up and then I'm going to close some windows in my house. There's a windstorm all of a sudden showing up in my world. So look. Mars is in dignity. All this is about better money stories for you. Spending as you need to spend, investing as you need to invest, better money stories. I want to backdrop that for just a half a second, okay? But watch Mercury trining Jupiter, trining your house of work, employees, employers, and health, increasing positive directions around material prosperity, worldly success, work, and career matters. Mercury is communicating, negotiating, and talking. You might be negotiating something. You might be making deals. You might be having information coming in. You might be taking interviews. You might be getting interviewed. You're on the upswing. And this is then followed up by Mars taking the handle and doing the job that Mercury was doing and continuing the narrative. There is no downside to the last week of October for money, career, and work success, health improvements, and dietary changes. It is lovely. You are enjoying it. If you're not, then there's probably something wrong with you. All right. I mean, everybody going through this will feel really good for Libra rising, especially sun and moon as well, of course. And Mercury, even though he's with Mars and taking orders from Mars, he has a rulership over letting go of those addictions and bad habits and past life patterns of sort of holding yourself back in life because you sabotage your reality. Mercury also rules the house of foreign lands and international exposure. So some of that might be relevant to some of you. Finally, Mercury crosses the barrier into the sign of Sagittarius. He'll be there till November 19th. But because he's retrograding back into your second house, I'll be doing a long video on that. There's a bit of a back and forth between my money and my next thing and going back to reclaim something. Mercury loves to travel. He protects travelers. This is travel, short distance in particular. Uranus, though, it says a surprise, a disruption or surprising information regarding travel. regarding educational opportunities, regarding a sibling 1 younger and 2 older than you, and some shocking news, some surprising information. This is coming through around October 29th and 30th, okay? Kaboom, 29th, 30th, 31st, Halloween, so to speak. And possibly, because this is also flowing to Pluto, who's kind of softening the whole story up a bit, there could be some really interesting, shocking, surprising developments regarding good fortune and wealth, especially because Pluto, the god of wealth, is in the house of good fortune. The sun is in the house of earnings, rules the house of windfalls. A bit of a financial break could come through here, connected to creativity, entrepreneurship, and just financial fortune as a general principle. Okay. But also, this is still your romance house, still a house to do with your children. And yet it's with the Pluto forming the wedge, it brings it into a softening, unexpected love story percolating because of travel. Like maybe you meet somebody on a travel opportunity and they send you a message that they're into you, and then you feel this intensity around the romantic urge. Book publishing deals, and you can't believe it, you got a contract, and it's going to make you much wealthier. That's an example as well. All right. So hopefully that was useful. You can use this information to navigate your lifetime, your best life, have a good run through the relieving month of October. Yeah, you can see I'm in a windstorm. I'll see you guys on my next video. Check out my Substack. Come join me in Sky Reader. Check out Renn Butler's course. Give them my name so you get a discount, a significant discount. And I'll see you in the next videos. Ciao, ciao. Look at all the wind like hurling through on my refrigerator.